Oftentimes when I do these videos, where people were murdered in these locations, I always hope that it's not the ghetto. But then again, I kind of hope it is, because it makes the video a little bit more interesting anyways. This apartment complex is in Indianapolis, and I've only been here about 10 minutes. I'm already done with the first part of the video. I got to end the second. And for the most part, I don't think this apartment complex is ghetto. However, I do disapprove of the pregnant woman with a tattoo on her neck walking along with her 2-year-old son while she was smoking a cigarette. Now, listen, I'm not telling you what to do. You live your life, you live your life. But hey, listen, I don't think your unborn child prefers Camel non-filter. At least, make it Marlboro Lights 100s, last tar or something. Anyways, the cars are in pretty good condition, so it's probably one of those middle of the road complexes. So it looks like we have another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So we have another social media person posing next to a dangerous area and falling to their death, trying to get that perfect selfie. So today we're talking about Natalie Stichova, this girl right here. She is a gymnast from Czechoslovakia, 23 years of age. And her and her family, they had went on a family vacation to Germany, and they had went to go see this castle right here in Bavaria, which is, I believe this castle is the same one that was used in the cartoon Sleeping Beauty. It was based off this castle. So the castle sits on like kind of like a cliffside, mountainside. So she wanted to get a really cool selfie so she could show her friends and all of her Instagram followers. And, she's a gymnast, so she probably wants to spice things up, and I don't blame her. So her pose was, she was standing, and she had her leg, all the way up in the air. I think kind of like this pose, right next to the cliff. She didn't want to be close to the cliff. She wanted to be right on the cliff, literally on the cliff. And unlike gymnastics, where if you lose your balance, you only lose a couple points on your score, when you lose your balance on this ride, you're not losing a couple points, you're losing your life. And that is exactly, unfortunately, what happened to Natalie right here. So she fell 200, and they're guessing around 230 feet off of a mountain cliff. Jeez. Now, it wasn't a sheer drop down, but basically a mountainside cliff, falling 230 feet. Yeah, some things are gonna be able to break your fall. Unfortunately, those things are rocks, and they're very hard. So by the time her family calls emergency services and they rescue her, they take her to the hospital. Now, she's still alive, but she's in a coma. And she suffered very severe injuries to her head, a skull fracture, severe brain bleed, all of that, several broken bones. And she was in a coma for 6 days before finally dying. And just trying to get that perfect pose. It never ceases to amaze me how these kids still keep doing these things. It's unreal. She was known in the, local gymnastics world, at least in Czechoslovakia, as a rising star in the sport. And now that the light has been extinguished, by just youthful indiscretion is what I can call it. I have no idea. I don't know, but that poor girl. I mean, and to realize at the moment that you lose your balance and that's it. I mean, it ain't like a gun or a bullet comes smacking you in the head and the end is over quickly. I mean, when you're falling and you break your leg and you break your arm, and that's only half of what's gonna end up happening to you. It's got to be a very, very terrifying and surreal feeling. So rest in peace to that poor young lady. Absolutely, just a needless death is all I can say. I mean, these stories, they do, you know, I'm almost mystified every time I hear them. I mean, I always prefer to be at the scene of what took place, but, you know, this channel's really not much for the scene of things, just kind of stories that I read about online that I want to share with you guys. Anyways, well, I'm out of here. I made it safe and sound. This apartment complex is a little bit rough, a little bit rough and tumble, but nobody disturbed me. Nobody asked me while I was filming, and I made it out in one piece. You know, I made it out and everything is okay. I mean, sure, possibly I spoke too soon, but hopefully those young men over there realize that I am nothing but simply a journalist here doing journalism. All right, guys, I'm out of here. By the way, who would want to rent an apartment right next to a freeway? I don't know. That's got to be, yeah, your apartment is right next to a freeway. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they can hear that, but whatever. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See you on the next video. Peace out.